Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to go through the latest COT report that I sent out on Sunday. We're just going to look at how stuff started to play out, stuff that's maybe not gone in the direction we thought it was, and there's been a lot that has played out as anticipated. But also we need to start thinking about, be aware that the new COT data is submitted on a Tuesday evening. So we're now on Wednesday, so now we might be starting to see those changes in the trends and stuff. So it's just thinking about your positions and understanding that sometimes if the stuff hasn't kind of played out by you know, early Wednesday, then we might want to consider just leaving this until the next analysis comes out. So we're going to run through exactly what's already played out, and I'm going to share the screen with you, and we'll go through each individual one so we can have a look at what's going on. So for anybody who hasn't seen the Commitment Traders report from Relentless, this is what you get. Explains what it is, how to use it. We go through each individual currency pair, highlighting what we think is the bias for the week on each one, and then we stick these things together to give us this forecast for the week, and then we do the chart analysis, which is what I'm going to run through right now. So let me just zoom out actually. So I'm going to start with, if my computer lets me, we're going to start with CAD CHF, and I'm just going to move this across. So CAD CHF, we had, let me get rid of this. So we had this market open here. So I've got this marked up. The black line, the black dotted line on everything is the last week's close, and this is where then we finished, and this is when I did my analysis where price was. So you can see we'd come down into this key daily support level, and we were going to wait to see how price reacted in and around there, because current price action had been quite bearish, but like we said, we were looking to see if we got held here. You can see we did get held here. We pushed down, retested a little bit more. We had a push up, and then we had this nice pin bar. So price action was telling us, yes, we're good to go. If you drop down to a lower time frame, this is where you can use the actual technical analysis that we give people, how to look for these entries. You could have got in a little bit too early, potentially, if you were looking at this breaker structure here. You could have gone somewhere around this level for a buy with your stop below the low, but you would have still been okay. What happened is it came back retested, and then what we can see is it actually broke this level here. So it broke above, and then it's retested again, and that's then giving your entry. Super safe entry would be here once it breaks this high that it had made, and then you can see that it goes off like a nice 2-to-1 trade. So that's CAD CHF played out pretty much straight away from the open. Gave a nice entry around 7:30 London Open. So CAD CHF for the buy has already played out. So if you're still considering this trade, be careful, because what we do have is this big downtrend level here that it's kind of respected again. So the big downtrend line, as you can see here, has already come up to that, tapped it. What we could be seeing is this pullback into these levels to then go again. But this is where I'm saying, if the move has already played out, we want to be considering just leaving this for now. And the potential entry, if it still is a buy this week, you'd want to see it above this level. You don't want to be buying into this just below this daily resistance level that it's just broke below. So nice trade there on CAD CHF. So CAD JPY then, let's have a look at what we had for that and how that's gone. CAD JPY. I've just put this on the chart. I haven't taken this trade, but it's just to, I think, just kind of show you what we could be looking at now. So this again was very similar to CAD CHF, where it actually gave the entry pretty much straight away. The market closed here at this level where this black candle is, and you can see that on the left as well. So we had price coming down into this support level is what it looked like. You can see that price, as I said, was here, pushed down, retested this level, and with the massive wick rejection out of here, that's where the entry was. It didn't quite touch it, but you can see from the strategy, and if you had your indicator that we give you on, you would have seen that we would have had a level right in here that it's come and mitigated for them to take this trade. Again, gave a 2.5 to 1 on that one up to that next level. And this is similar now, where we're like, actually, has this already played out? is this going to go further? The difference with this one against CAD CHF is what it's actually done is respected this uptrend line. So if this gives me a bit more confidence that we're at the other side of the daily support level, and we could see this push up. There was a nice level here that it has just tried to retest as well. So this could be a really nice trade up into the weekly resistance level, and just up below the low just to be safe. And like I said, I'm trading more for my entries and more H4 to daily support, so that's why I have really big stops compared to other people who are trading on maybe a 15-minute, 5-minute time frame. But everybody trades differently, and that's what we need to understand. But yeah, I think it's nice. It's obviously got a little bit of temporary resistance in here where it's failed to close. So we just got to be aware of that as well. You might want to look if we can get the other side of this level. You might want to look at something like an entry. I don't know, it might be like this, but it's just going to reduce your risk to reward slightly. It might just be a one-to-one that, and it's not really my preference, to be honest, to take a one-to-one. So just be aware of that. So let's have a look at the next one then. Let's just see what this is. I think it's a NZD-CHF. Let's see what we've got for that. So NZD-CHF, I think this is very similar as well, where it gave the move quite at the open, so it pushed down again. It did hold here. It just came a little bit below the daily support, but it did eventually close back inside. Not as clean of an entry. I didn't take this one. I've just put this on the chart just so we could visually see what actually happened with this. We were expecting it to push up into the weekly area, if not break through that, and it hasn't quite reached it. So again, I'd be leaving this one for this week. I think it's already made that anticipated move that we were looking for, and it's not quite fully played out to the level that we thought it would. So New Zealand Swiss franc, I think we need to wait and see what's going on with that next week. USD CHF then, let's have a look at this. I don't think this one's played out yet. So we were looking for buys on this, and where were we when we closed? So we were here when we closed at this green line, the bottom of this big bearish candle. What I did think is that we could push up, get the other side of this level, and then hold here, and we're not quite seeing that. What's happened is it has done kind of that move that we thought, where it's pushed up and pushed back down. But I would have liked to have seen it a little bit more respect to the other side of this level. I don't think it has for that reason. Haven't taken any trades on this week, and I won't be taking any at this point, I don't think. I've got this level marked up here now as a new kind of support level that, again, it's failing to break through. So you could see another attempt for this to go further. But again, there's a lot of USD red for the news this week, so we just want to be aware of that as well. And I do think this could go in either direction with all the news going on. So USD CHF hasn't quite played out how we thought it would. And like I said, I would be personally just leaving it for this week. AUD CAD, let's have a look at that. AUD CAD's a strange one. What I was saying on... yeah, so what I was saying on this is... Oh, where was price? Price was right here. This blue candle coming up, and I've got an alert set which keeps bringing that up. But yeah, so price was here at this end, at the top of this blue one, right in this weekly area, right? So I was saying we just need to be careful how price reacts here, and if we get a close above this level, I'd be leaving this one for this week as well. But what's actually started to happen is you have started to see all these wicks in and around this area, which suggests there's some sellers here. There is sell pressure as expected. However, it's not really given a very strong push away from it. There's a lot of money going to be sitting up here, which makes me a bit nervous that we could be coming back in. It could liquidity grab again before it drops, or you know what, we could just see that flip the other side. So for me, it's not a clear one what it's doing right now. And you'd need to see, ideally, I think if I was going to take this week, I'd have to see a proper commitment to that in terms of breaking this level and then taking the trade on the other side of this area. For now, you can clearly see it's just ranging, and it has been all week. It's really not clear what it's doing, and there's a chance we could just go the other side and push on higher, which is against what we've kind of forecast, and that's what I'm saying. We need to probably wait and see on the new COT data for this one. So, sorry, that was a bit of a long-winded explanation. AUZ New Zealand has completely done the opposite to what we said this week. I'm not sure whether anybody would have got trapped on this because I personally did take a sell position once I saw that close there. So I did take a loss on this trade. And I was hoping that we would push down. So that's probably the only one that's gone completely against us and given us a signal that we were looking to take. So you can't win them all. And I did say, you know what, I should stick to my own thingy because I did say, being honest, this isn't one of my favorite pairs to trade. So, and that's exactly why, because it doesn't seem to like me. But it's quite wicky on the daily time frame. There's a lot of key levels between the weekly areas. That said, it could hold. It's held really nicely and tested the resistance area several times. So I thought, and again, this comes back to what I was just saying about wicks. So there was a lot of wick here, came back in, it held nicely. So I think we had closed down here. So that's what I was saying. I was expecting another push up into the area, which we got, and then I thought we would potentially go from there, and we haven't. And then even on the daily currency strength, we've been forecasting more of a bullish AUD New Zealand this week as well. So hopefully that stopped people getting into it, unlike myself. Should listen to my own advice sometimes. So AUD New Zealand USD. Let's look at that one. Again, quite similar to, was it AUD CAD? Yeah, AUD CAD, and they're going to trend quite similar. So price was here when we first. Price was up here, and what I thought we would see is either this push right up into this level or drop below and take the sells from here. What it did is it has pushed up into this level and has started to reject from there. But again, for me, it's really, really not clear because you've got the wick here that it has broken above. But price is just a bit trapped for me, and it's not something I want to really be trading. And again, USD news this a lot this week in the red forwarder. So personally, I think I believe in AUD USD. So Chuffy JPY. Let's see how this one's played out. Oh, this one is this hasn't played out either. And this is again, hopefully this has stopped people from getting trapped and into the wrong kind of trades. So Chevy JPY, and we have had this as bullish as well this week on some of the currency strength, which it has shown us that. You can see that there. But what I was conscious of when we closed on Sunday, we were. Which one was it? Yeah, it's this one. So it closed here. It retested this kind of level here. And I just had this feeling that it needs to close below these blue lines is what I'd said. If you look there, I would like to see a break below the blue lines and then retest from there to take the sell position that we were looking for, because there was a risk that we were going to push back up into these kind of areas, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that move, and again, the reason for this is trend line coming up. You can see how well respected that has played out in terms of buying up. I think we're buying up into a sell, but again, we'll have to reanalyze the COT data when that comes out. So I'm hoping that because I've mentioned the blue lines here, that people have not got trapped in this, because what I was conscious of and the reason why I said the blue lines, I didn't want people to think, oh, we've come into a nice little resistance level. It's rejecting here. Let's start to take sells, because there was a key level right below that we did have to pay attention to and be aware of. So hopefully that stopped people getting into that, and again, we're just going to leave it and see how that plays out for the rest of the week. Not Chaffy JPY, EuroCAD. EuroCAD. I caught a nice trade on this week. Very nice. Did exactly what we planned and expected. So it was coming up into the key kind of level that we were paying attention to, and it held really nicely, and it just gave these really nice wick rejections. And I think if you look at what I'd said, it was also coming into a nice H4 and a daily 75 0.5, 79 fib level. So that just gave me a bit of extra confidence when you start to see this rejecting and you have this massive push down. That's where I then took the sell on this into this key weekly support, and that's exactly where price is currently stuck. So took profit on that and come out of it. So that one played out really nicely. Euro JPY I think next. Let's have a look at Euro JPY. So Euro JPY played out again exactly how we thought it would. So we had this push down. It's hard because this is the daily time frame on the left and I'm on the H4, so I'm just double checking where we were, where we are. Okay, so it was this is the actual last candle from last week. So we closed here at this level, and I thought we would push up into this daily resistance level and then drop from there, and you can see that that's exactly what's happened. Gave a really nice entry here. Again, look at your key kind of lower, not lower time, but yeah, lower time frames, and looking at using the indicators to find them entries as well. So that gave a really nice one. Hopefully it will see this continue to push down into this key level, but if not, you know, it's still already gone for like well over a 1 to 5, so people should be at break even and secured some profit on that hopefully. So another nice trade there. Euro New Zealand, let's have a look at Euro New Zealand. How's this played out? Yeah, so Euro New Zealand again, quite similar to JPY in a way. So price closed right here. Euro New Zealand, it closed right in this area, in the resistance level. So what I was expecting is this little bit of a drop, push back in to then take a sell, and it did do that. It's not as clear, but if you can see, price has come up, it has come down, it has retested, and then it has given entry here. And again, this is another similar one where you're like, hopefully people have managed to catch some pips on this and secure the trade, because this was a key level that we had lined up, which is exactly where it's gone to and reacted from. So that's why we need to protect positions there, take some profits, and the longer term, hopefully, it would push down to this level. But hopefully people have managed to, and maybe on the lower time frames, you've managed to catch a bit of a smaller stop loss as well. I'm just putting these on for illustration purposes on this one. Euro USD, let's see. So we had bearish Euro USD. What we thought could happen. Where were we? So price was at the bottom. Price was here, and we thought we might push up. I did say we could push up into this blue level and the weekly level before going. I said if not, what we might want to do is just wait for a break below here, and it's not quite played out just yet. Euro New Zealand, it has been bearish. You can see it has dropped as we expected, but in terms of my entries and stuff, I didn't take any on Euro USD. And again, the reason for that is, and the reason I want to see this breakout is because of this range that it's been creating. You want to see a really nice clear breakout of that, get into the sell to take down. If not, we want to see it break up, trap traders, and then potentially push down, which is what I thought we would see. It's not quite played out like that this week, but again, hopefully we stop people from getting trapped in some trades on this. And a lot of USD news again, so I have been a bit more personally cautious with USD pairs this week. GBP CAD, let's see. Oh, this was a really annoying one. I got stopped out on this by 1 pip, which was really annoying. But you can see how it played out nicely. So price closed here right at the weekly resistance level. And the open, actually, I had this blue area marked up, you can see here. The open actually jumped so high that it was pretty much right on this blue level, and it's respected this blue area that I had marked up really, really well all week. Personally, I'm not sure that we're going to see this reaction again, because it has retested a few times and it has already given like a 3.5 to 1 push down. And I just think again, it's quite similar to what we were just saying with we've got this massive range going on at the moment, so it might be better at this stage of this week leaving GBP CAD as well to see how that plays out, unless it gives a really nice clear break and retest again to take a sell. But I'd just be cautious of this level that we've just created. and struggle to break through. But if it rejects us nicely again from this area, it could be a nice trade. So I'm not saying it's a big no-no, but just one to be aware of. GBP New Zealand, let's look at that. So GBP New Zealand hasn't respected anything that we thought we might see, and it did. I think I was kind of highlighting over here that we've massively been in this range as well on GBP New Zealand, and you can see that we've just carried this on um, into this larger range on the daily. What were we saying? So we've seen a solid rejection out of the weekly support, which was here. So we did close nice and high on the end of the week. We can see this range for the last quarter. Ideally, we want to see this break and close below the weekly support. So that's what I was saying is we want to see it break and close really below this weekly support level. However, I think we could see a push to the first daily resistance, which was here, so I did say personally. However, I think we could see a push to the first daily resistance, which you can see it did straight away when the market opened. And personally, if it pushes higher and hits the second daily resistance level, I'll be leaving this pair for this week, and we can see that that's exactly what it's just done. So I wouldn't be taking any sell positions on this week. I personally haven't got involved in any of them, but I am conscious that people could potentially have got into this because it did do what we said, pushed in, and then people may have got in and stopped out on that, so it hasn't quite fully played out. But again, it was just that whole range thing is just playing on for quite some time on a larger picture and a bigger scale. So just want to be aware of on there. So what's next? GBP USD. Let's look at this. Sorry, it's gone on forever because, like I said, there was loads of pairs on it this week, which was interesting. This is the last one actually. This is I just said there was a lot of GBP news. USD news this week, high impact. So I was saying it's quite difficult to trade this pair on a longer term basis at the moment in terms of swinging for a couple of days or a week. Plus, we need to be aware of the news. Personally, if you're looking to trade this pair this week, look for intraday setups between these key levels and try to avoid the news events. So again, what you can see from what I've said is where the market opened, price pushed down into this level, pushed up into this level, pushed down into this level, pushed up back up into this level. So when I was saying about taking some trades, you could have took a sell position potentially from here to this level, but again it was intraday setups for these, not to hold long-term trades and swing them, because it just there's obviously a lot going on with all these pairs these two pairs at the moment and the euro and stuff. So hopefully this has helped, but I think a lot of the stuff has already played out this week, and we'll be looking for, in terms of COT report, definitely looking more for at what the institutions are doing, and we'll try and catch some more nice trades next week. But hopefully this has helped, and drop me a comment if you've got any questions on it, if you need any help with anything, you struggled with anything this week, or you want any more explanation in terms of COT stuff or anything that we can help with, just shout, and as ever we will always try to help.